Shadowboxing. It's not just fighting an imaginary friend. So let's go ahead and establish what shadowboxing is. Shadowboxing is intended for warming up, working on fundamentals, or if you're a competitive fighter, using it for a visualization. So today, I'm actually gonna show you how to shadowbox in 5 minutes, beginner style, and we're gonna do that with 5 easy steps. Number 1, you have to establish your stance. If you don't know what your stance is and you're just standing like this, obviously moving around in shadowboxing is gonna be kind of pointless. If you're right-handed, your left foot forward and step back partially with your right foot. This is gonna be your boxing stance. Now, if you're left-handed, you're gonna do the opposite. Feet together, plant your right foot, step back with your left foot, and this is your boxing stance. Now, if you wanna get a little bit more intermediate to advanced, you will also kind of kickstand your back foot and angle it slightly outward. Here is a good boxing stance. Hands up, and I want you to act like you're squeezing lemons underneath your armpits, make some lemonade. Number 2, you have to know how to punch or what the punches are. Let's go ahead and review them. There's 6 punches. And at FightCamp, these are the ones that we use. We go jab, which is gonna be your lead hand. You wanna fully extend on all of your punches. Then you have the cross, the number 2 punch. This is your power hand, and that's the reason why it's used with your dominant hand. 2. Then you have a hook. Now, as I throw this hook, that's the 3, I'm gonna transfer my weight back so I have the ability to turn my front foot in alignment with my elbow. If I'm not able to do that, I'm not able to pull the power around as much as I could with that punch. Then you have a 4. You're right, the opposite hook. I'm gonna do the exact same thing. I'm gonna transfer my weight and then I'm gonna be able to turn my rear heel with my rear punch. Then you have the 5, which is the lead uppercut. From here, I like to come to my pocket and then I like to do something called the peekaboo. Peekaboo, just like that. And as I punch, I'm also gonna lift up onto the ball of my lead foot. And then I'm gonna do the exact same thing with the rear side. Gonna drop down, peekaboo on this side. And I'm gonna lift up as I punch through. So those are 6 punches. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then eventually we're gonna go ahead and put combos together. Number 3, footwork. And I actually think that this is the most important part, especially when it comes to shadowboxing, hitting the mitts, hitting the bag, anything boxing, kickboxing related. The main thing I wanna go over in this 5-minute beginner video is just not crossing our feet. All right, I know it looks great on the dance floor, but it doesn't look good in the ring, and it's not gonna help you if you were ever in a fight. As I step this way, I'm gonna actually step with my lead foot, and I'm gonna follow in my stance with my rear. Same thing if I go the opposite direction. If I step out, then I'm gonna follow back into my stance with my lead side. If I go backwards, step back into my stance, step forward, back in my stance. I don't want to bring my feet together or start doing some shuffling. This isn't basketball, this is boxing. As I move, I'm constantly keeping that same amount of distance between my feet. I want you to act, or you can grab one if you need to, a band. Put it around your ankles, create tension. Don't let the tension come together because then it's gonna fall down and you're gonna trip and then it's gonna be really embarrassing. Keep the tension right there. Step forward a couple of paces, step back a couple of paces, step to your lead side, and then step to your rear side. And then eventually, we can add a little bounce as we move around, a couple pivots as well. Let me really quick review a pivot, basic pivot. I want you to act like there's a nail through your lead foot. I'm gonna swing my rear leg around, this foot's not moving. And I'm back in my stance facing a different direction. Let's swing it back around. Still in the same stance. Notice how I'm not crossing back here, or I'm not landing like this, then I'm off balance. Similar to how you don't want to line up too straight because then you can fall over, you're also at a disadvantage if you do that crossing your feet. So let's say someone rushes me in this moment. I'm off balance, I can't move around or be as agile. That's the reason why footwork is so important. You wanna make sure you're setting yourself up in good positions, but you're also able to retreat without falling over. Number 4, defense, or what a lot of people like to refer to as even head movement. So as you're shadowboxing, you don't wanna just be in place, just throwing punches, moving, and you're not throwing in a little bit of defense as well, especially if you're a more advanced shadowboxer. You wanna kind of create it like there's an opponent sitting in front of you. So as you're moving around, you can add some slips in there, side to side. You can go ahead and roll under. You can block the body. You can step back with fades or pulls, or you can just kind of dance around and move around. Defense comes in all different ways, but you really want to make sure you're throwing punches, you're using proper footwork, but you're also putting your defense in there, and we're gonna do that at the very end. So as you're shadow boxing, remember, don't get too stiff just throwing punches and moving. Add some of the defense to make it a little bit more realistic. Act like there's some punches coming at you. Block it, counter, move your head, throw some punches, and then move around as well. The fifth and final point is combinations. Now, you can have a stance, you can know the punches, you can have defense, and you can have footwork, but if you can't put combos together, then what's the point of shadow boxing? So stick to the basics. 1, 1, 2, 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 5 to the body, which is an uppercut, rip. So as you're moving around, we're gonna put all of this together. We're gonna put stance, punches, defense, footwork, and combinations, and I'm gonna show you exactly what it looks like. As you become comfortable throwing some of these beginner things, stepping back, throw a basic combo, pivot, pivot again. I want you to act like there's someone in front of you. Even if you just, for now, just stick to jabbing. Step back, jab, step forward, jab, block, jab, pivot, jab, pivot, jab, step, jab. Once you become more comfortable, I want you to kind of mix it up a little bit more. Maybe a jab cross, kind of give yourself a little shuffle. Then pivot, jab, block, jab, pivot, shuffle forward. Sometimes you'll be on defense going backwards. Sometimes you'll be on offense going forwards. Make sure you're adding that roll, adding a little bit of defense in there, keeping your stance in your footwork, not crossing your feet. And move around and breathe, because that's extremely important. And that's how you shadow box in 5 minutes. 5 easy principles. Always remember: stance, punches, footwork, defense, and combinations. And when you put them all together, it makes a beautiful masterpiece. My name is Jess Evans. If you like content like this, make sure you like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. This is FightCamp, an interactive training camp from the comfort of your own home. Tutorials and guided paths walk you step by step through the basics and sharpen your technique over time. Punch tracking technology and leaderboards provide you built-in motivation to help you hit your goals. Learn more at FightCamp.com.
Workout, and I don't expect you to be going non-stop.